guys, it's Super Video Games or Adam, and welcome back to another one of my Fortnite videos. And one thing I want to quickly mention right off the bat here is, for this video, I'll be doing a massive Christmas gift card giveaway, and to enter, it's incredibly easy. All you have to do is leave a like on today's video, and then let me know in the comment section below how many solo wins do you have here in Fortnite, and then I'll be picking a winner 1 week after this video goes up. So in today's video, we are going to be going over the 5 things you didn't know you could do here in a Fortnite Battle Royale. And one thing you guys have to keep in mind when doing a video like this is absolutely everybody has a different levels of knowledge when it comes to Fortnite. And for those of you who may be new to the game, you just started playing, absolutely everything you see on today's list is going to be stuff you really need to know, and it will definitely help you get better at the game. And then for those of you who are more experienced Fortnite players, my goal with this video is to inform you about at least one thing you did not know you could do here in this game. Besides that, guys, let's go ahead and start off today's video. So coming in at the number 5 spot on my list, I have this really awesome small minor trick that is incredibly helpful, and I kind of need to explain this in the form of a scenario, so bear with me for a second, okay? So say you're playing a Fortnite and every single one of your slots is completely full, okay? You recently just killed somebody and you want to go loot them, and you notice that your enemy just dropped some bandages, okay? And you have 12 bandages in one of your slots. You go up to pick his bandages up, and he has more than 3, right? Because you can only hold up to 15 bandages in one slot. So if he has more than 3, what will happen is it will throw out whatever you currently have selected in your inventory, which can be really annoying. Okay, now, so same scenario. Instead of actually having your weapon thrown out, what you can do is go up to the bandages you want to pick up and say, again, you have 12, and the person you killed had 10. If you actually take out your pickaxe and then loot the bandages, you will only take 3 and you'll leave the other 7. And this can be really handy. I know it's not a big thing, but if you are trying to loot really quickly, maybe there's somebody around you, or you're in the storm, or the storm's right behind you, this little trick definitely speeds up the looting process, especially when you want to fill up that bandage slot. So coming in at the number 4 spot on my list, we are going to be going over some really helpful and interesting building techniques, and we're going to be focusing specifically on things you can do with the roof buildable. One of the most common builds here in Fortnite is to simply build a square and then dropping a staircase right in the middle. It's a great quick build base for height advantage on your enemy and just being protected in general. Absolutely everybody does it, but instead of dropping a staircase in the middle, drop a roof piece instead, and then what you can do is go into edit mode and just select one of the 4 corners, okay? So say you select the top left corner, that corner will actually be raised, and then the other 3 corners will be touching the ground, so it'll kind of be like a quarter pyramid effect. And this is really handy because say an enemy is shooting you from a specific angle, you can raise that corner, you kill him, and then there's enemy behind you that you can lower that corner again and raise the opposite corner, and then you have the height advantage for that specific corner. It's very handy and it's kind of flexible, so you can always be changing on the fly depending on where the enemies are around you. Now, say you're somebody who doesn't want to constantly have to raise and lower specific corners depending on where your enemy is. What you can do, again, is just drop that roof in the middle of your square and then select 3 of the 4 corners, okay? The one corner you do not select will be facing the ground, so it's going to be the same thing as the previous one, except it's going to be flipped upside down. So then 3 corners will be raised, and then you'll have that height advantage facing in 3 different directions. And this is one I use absolutely all the time. I find it to be just way more handy and way more effective than putting stairs, because then I can see in multiple different directions, and I'm someone who doesn't want to be constantly playing around and editing my build. So this is definitely something you should really start doing. It's incredibly helpful. So for the number 3 spot, I don't really know how this kind of fits into the whole things you didn't know you could do, but hey, I think picking up loot at the beginning of the game is an excellent thing to do, and I'll be showing you guys a very underrated and amazing place to land at the beginning of every game. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like landing in populated areas and having to constantly compete for loot chests at the beginning of the game, this is the ideal spot to land, because with this route I'll be showing you, you have the opportunity to have 6 loot chests at the beginning of the game, and honestly, you get a lot of loot chests almost every single game. It's very rare that you don't get like more than 3 loot chests in a single match. And this spot is the barn outside of Retail Row. Now, I was a little bit hesitant about putting this on this list because I know people know about this spot, but the thing is, nobody ever goes here, and I don't think people really understand how good this spot actually is. So when you're first landing in this area, it's kind of more of an RV park with a barn in the middle of it. You want to aim for the roof of the barn because in that barn you can find up to 2 chests, which is a great way to start. And again, not too many people land here. A lot of people actually who do land here will always go for the barn. Now, if someone is going here, there actually can be 2 more chests that spawn in this area. So the first one is just outside of the RV park. It's to the southeast-ish, and it's going to be this big structure. It kind of looks like a transformer, honestly. And on top of that, you'll find another chest spawn. Now, if you don't want to go outside the park, you want to stay in this little RV park area, you can kind of head towards the north end of the barn or the RV park, and you'll find another chest. It's kind of tough to explain. You guys can see me running around in the gameplay, but right off the bat, in this small little area, you can get up to 4 chests to spawn. So once you're done looting this RV park or this barn area, head towards the northeast of Retail Row. Just follow my path here. It's kind of tough to explain, but once you go over a couple of these hills, you'll come across this small campground, and there will be 3 semi-trucks located in this area. 2 of them will actually have chests. The first one will be actually facing Retail Row, and then the second one will be on the opposite side of this campground, kind of facing towards Dusty Depot. Now, like I said, I know that people are aware of this spot, okay? But I just feel like people don't go here. People don't realize how good it is because I land here every single match I play, and I'm never running into people here. I can always, most likely, go through this entire route and have a ton of loot ready for the end game. It's such an effective spot, and I highly recommend going here. You won't regret it. So coming in at the number 2 spot on my list, being able to edit your buildables in the pregame lobby. And this is incredibly useful because when it comes to the pregame lobby here in Fortnite, there really isn't anything productive to do besides just waiting for the game to start. So you might as well take out one of your buildables that you like using or you like modifying and make those modifications before you actually start the game, because it actually carries over to that match. So it doesn't reset. All the things you save in the pregame lobby will actually transfer over to the actual game. So for myself, I'm always making the changes to the roof piece because I never use that roof piece in game, and now I'm always using that upside down pyramid that we talked about in the number 4 spot. So I make sure to do all of those changes in the pregame lobby because I'm not doing anything, and I might as well get that ready and out of the way before I actually start the game. So coming in at the number 1 spot on my list, landing on top of the balloon. And the reason why I thought this was so fitting to put in the number 1 spot was because this right here is, it's so elusive, it's so tough to actually pull this off in game. It's something you really don't see happening all that often. Pulling this off mid-game is incredibly difficult because the timing has to be absolutely just flawless. You have to have a launch pad first of all, then the supply drop has to spawn in close to you, and then on top of that, you're gonna have to get some serious elevation. Then you can deploy your launch pad and attempt to land on top of this balloon, which can be really frustrating if you're going in the game and just trying to do this. You'll realize how difficult it actually is to do this. If you can actually manage to pull this off mid-game, it would make for some pretty awesome and amazing moments. And actually, right before I recorded this, I was playing a game and I actually noticed that somebody was able to land on one of these supply drops, but thankfully I saw them and I was able to snipe them off. But if you successfully land on it and the supply drop actually lands and someone comes across, the supply drop loots it, and the balloon pops, you'll land right on top of them and get the loot from the supply drop and their loot as well. It would be pretty amazing. Okay, so we're not done yet. I have one more thing that I wanted to mention, and I didn't think it was good enough to put in as like one of the 5, so I'm mentioning it here and at the end of the video. But I've kind of discovered this really odd XP farming method, and I want to talk a little bit about it. So now ranks have more significance because you actually earn the gold stars or the gold coins when you rank up, or when you hit a certain level, like level 10, 15, 20, you'll get a large amount of those coins. So ranking up has more value compared to previously. So that's why I want to talk about this. One thing that I have discovered is when you are playing Fortnite and you first load into the match, okay, I'm not talking about the pregame lobby. When you first kind of spawn in the bus spawns in the map. If you leave the game instantly, you'll get XP. And that's really, really evil because you don't get a lot of XP, first of all. You get between 30 and 50 XP per match. But the thing is, you're able to get back into a game and research and get back in that lobby really fast that it actually kind of makes it worth it. So I obviously did a ton of testing on this because I was really curious to see if it was actually worth it. And here's what I figured out, okay? So you're able to get in and out of a match every 50 seconds, 1 minute. So you can do this about 60 times an hour, okay? And if you do it 60 times an hour, you're getting 30 to 50 XP. You're going to be getting between 1,800 and 3,000 XP an hour, which is actually really good, okay? And then I went into a game and I wanted just to survive until like top 25 to see how much XP I'll get. And I got a couple of kills. So if you're getting between like 5 and 10 kills and you're going top 25, you'll be in that area of like 500 XP. But the thing is, that will take you about 15 minutes plus to get to top 25 every single match. And if you do that 4 times in an hour, you're looking at about 2,000 XP. So it's very similar to doing this strategy of just leaving the game and then joining back in, and leaving the game and joining back in. And if you got 50 XP every time, you're looking at like 3k XP, and you'll be outperforming what you would do getting top 25 every single game. So that's what I found to be really, really interesting. Also, one more thing I want to mention is the XP boost you get from the battle pass and going through all the tiers. The more you go through the tiers, the more of those personal XP boosts you'll get. Like right now I have 60% on, so when I unlock my next one, I'll be getting even more XP for, leaving the match right away, but then again, I'll get more XP for playing as well. But it's still something that I think is kind of interesting, and again, I wanted to mention it, but I didn't want to include it in one of the 5 because it's something that really isn't all that exciting. It's kind of boring sitting there just leaving the game constantly, but it does give you a significant amount of XP, and compared to the amount of XP you earn from playing the game, it's actually kind of crazy. So there we have it, guys. Those are 5, well, I guess 6 things you didn't know you could do here in Fortnite Battle Royale. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more top 5s, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.